Hello everybody, welcome back to Somerset. So, I'm not going to lie, I haven't done one of these episodes in so long, and I am enjoying it, but I've just spent the last 20 minutes talking to myself. I didn't actually press record, so well done, that was a good start, wasn't it? So I guess I'll just summarise what I've been doing talking to myself for the last 20 minutes. So, as you know, if you've seen these episodes before, I haven't done one of these for a long time. So I've just kind of refreshed myself with exactly what was going on. I even had to watch the end of the last episode, in fact, just to try and figure out what I was even talking about because it's been that long. But basically, where we were at, I've just loaded in. We've just sold the last of our eggs and the lettuce. Got a half decent price for it, actually, not too bad. And then skipped through a night, and fortunately the harvest was ready to go, so we just jumped straight into that. Not really much more has happened. I have just purchased this trailer. It was in the store. It is a dolly, as you'll be able to tell by my shocking reversing. I hate dollies, I really hate dollies. But yeah, just because the other trailer that we used for the first harvest has still got the bales on it, which I didn't sell because eventually I was hoping to go and buy some pigs. Oh, this is really bad, isn't it? This is bad. I've got a better idea. Before I embarrass myself, let's just turn this around. Yeah, that's better. So yeah, so I've just picked up that trailer, £6,600 I want to say it was. And I talked a lot. I talked about a lot of things that I wanted to do, and also refreshed myself on some of the rules that I'd set up. And of course, one thing I didn't think about is, would that actually reach it? And it doesn't. I wonder if I can do some manipulating. Well, this will either work or this will be a disaster. It's going to be a disaster, isn't it? It's a disaster, but it works. Good. For someone who likes to play as realistically as possible, maybe I'm cheating the system a little bit here. I definitely am, but that's fun. So I started doing the headland around this field, and it filled up incredibly quickly. Now, the capacity in this harvester is pretty rubbish anyway, but we've done 2/3 maybe of one headland and it was already full, so that's great from a yield point of view. So all of that work previously for liming and fertilizing is definitely worth it. I think last time around we only just had enough left over to feed all the chickens for the remainder of the harvest, which, although that potentially made it worth a lot more money in the long run, it didn't give us any quick turnaround for cash. So hopefully this time around we'll have a little bit spare, which we can sell and move on. So rather than time lapse this bit, I'll just talk about what I've just spent 20 minutes talking about again, I guess. My plan is to leave this map, mainly because I enjoy the map, but what I don't want to do is have too many kind of British style maps on the go at once. So I do like British maps. It's where I kind of grow up. This is quite close to where I live now currently, actually. But at the same time, I want to do something a bit different. I think having lots of videos all based on the same kind of looking map would probably get a bit boring for some people. So I've been getting loads of suggestions from loads of new subscribers, by the way, thank you very much. And I am hoping to go for something American, maybe Canadian, and then obviously realistically try and stick with the kind of brands and equipment that get used out in those areas as well. So that is my plan. So maybe 3 or 4 more episodes of this, and then we'll start to look at other maps. That's the remnants there of the crop that I planted incorrectly, so I'll just run that over. Doesn't really matter. What I also want to do when we start this new map is stick to crossplay mods only, and the reason I want to do that, so the map needs to be crossplay, and then every mod I use will be crossplay, so no more kind of third-party vans and Citroen vans and things like that. And that's because when it gets to a point where I need some help, rather than an AI helper, which in the rules initially is fine, because realistically, if you owned a farm and you needed help, you would pay someone to help you. So I didn't make a rule against that, but I would rather get real players, and I think a lot of people would appreciate kind of getting involved as well. And in fact, the list of names that I've already got for people who do want to get involved is getting pretty big. I'm gonna have to get a second bit of paper in a minute. So wow, look, it's fill up again. Look, just like that. I almost took out some crops then. Right, this time round, hopefully I won't need to reverse that dolly. But I am going to have to do something dodgy with that auger again, aren't I? So yeah, anyway, going back to what I was saying, so that is the plan. So I want it to be open to anyone, so console players. Naturally, I play on PC, but I tend to keep the slot count quite low on this sort of series anyway, because you're not buying huge amounts of equipment. So, you know, something that just opens it up to lots of players, whether you're on new consoles or the original, the PS4s or the Xbox Ones. But yeah, get some help from real people. I just think it's a bit different. One thing I do want to do is just be a bit different to the standard sort of survival type thing. So I knew it wouldn't let me get into that harvester, and I put the handbrake on so I can't jump to it. Right, let's jump the hedge a minute. There we go. Right, let's just do a little bit of dodgy unloading again, see if it works second time round. Yep. So yeah, so any maps I go for, they'll obviously need to be standard size maps, and they obviously need to be available for all platforms. So if you have any suggestions, you know, I wouldn't even mind going back to the original map, going back to, I even forget what the name of it is now, to be honest with you, the first American map that you actually had when you first bought the game. I actually cannot remember the name. That really says a lot. Right, let's just reverse that back a little bit without running over any crops, hopefully. That will do. So yeah, I don't mind which map I go for, but I think American or Canadian is the way to go anyway. Okay, first time in the series so far, but I've just popped an AI on there just to help us out a little bit. So it needs emptying pretty quickly, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on it, otherwise it's just going to be sat there wasting money for no reason. But I've done the headlands, I don't think they'll have too much issue now turning around. Maybe in the greenhouse section over there it might be a bit of a struggle. But anyway, let's just pull up alongside it, try and empty it out a little bit now if we can. It's obviously not going to work whilst it's moving because the auger doesn't actually reach, but oh, very good timing. Is this going to work? No. This might be a bit of a struggle. Just took off the wing mirror. Okay, right, no worries. What I'm going to have to do each time, which is annoying, I'm going to have to pull up alongside it and open the auger after. But at least it still works. I will just let this empty a minute and then we'll just leave it on a worker. I can't believe the yield of this though. This is doing so much better than when we first started the game, because this field of course was already planted, so we kind of a bit different to the norm. We inherited a little bit of something when we started the game off. Now let's just set that worker back up. And oh, really? Well, that didn't work very well. This is not going to go very well at all now, is it? This might be one of those super strength exceptions, I think. Look, the workers got fed up, he's even drove off. Right, there we go, so that's fine. So we'll just leave that there a minute. And we'll just try and plan out what we're going to do. So I've kept the farmland auction, the map auctioning on, because I do want to get another field. Now, if we do get another field before we obviously sell up and move to another map, it means whatever we buy it for now, I'm assuming you can sell it for a normal price, which again, realistically, that's what you would do. We're not going to be able to afford that though, it's at 73,000 so far. But that's the one that's currently on auction. How cheap is that compared to, let's say, 38? Yeah, that's normally 153, so that's pretty cheap, but out of our budget for definite. Yeah. Okay, right. What we'll do actually, we'll just pop this down. Got to try and turn around somehow. That's a good thing about a dolly though, I guess. Maybe. Or not. Over the fence? That'll do it. Right, let's try around. I was going to say the good thing about a dolly is the turning circle's better, but clearly not. Right, I'm going to dump a load of this in that shed. Like we did before, we'll just continue to feed the chickens using the wheelbarrow. And look at potentially selling the rest of it. And we can start baling. At least if we did go for pigs, we're going to have a lot of bales ready to go of straw. Which would be handy, very very handy. Now because this is a brand new trailer and I also can't reverse it too well, I'll probably open up the help menu in a minute, which I don't do very often, but just so I can see which direction it's going to tip from. Oh, this is awful. Okay, well I did check, it tips from the back as well, so that's fine. But as I'm now using my controller, let's remind myself what button it is to actually tip side out the back. I don't know how much I do need for the chickens. Let's just empty the lot out. Okay, good. Right, I'll just go stick this back in the field just while the harvester... Oh, it's ready to go. Let's see how much of a drama this is going to be. Okay, so I've just jumped back in now from a time lapse because we ran out of fuel. I mean, it's what I wanted to do. I wanted to keep it realistic. But what it means now is we're going to have to go to the shop and buy a barrel and then bring it back. The good thing is we have a van. Now I'm pretty sure I haven't bought any already. Well look, my chickens will escape if I leave that open. I don't believe though I've bought any barrels of fuel. So I've got lime, fertilizer. No, haven't really got a great deal of things at all, to be honest with you. Right, let's have a quick look at how much they are in the store. Are they under pallets? I want to say they're under pallets. Yeah, there we go. Right, so 20 litres, 180 litres. I'm not really ever going to want to take that harvester on the road, so let's just go with that. It's only £150. And I know, even though this probably isn't realistic, I know that you can pick those up even without using super strength, which is definitely not realistic, but that's not a problem. Alright, just jump back. Right, head over to the store, just grab this and then I'll be back at the farm in a jiffy. This is what happens when I drive. I blamed it on the Citroen van all along. Clearly it wasn't. Okay, here we are back now. Nice smooth, painless drive to the shop. No incidents. Lovely. Now I do play with all of the as many realistic mods as you can possibly get, including the REA. I think it's called REA wheels. So I don't quite know how this van's going to like driving on this field. So to be honest, it's not too bad. Not too bad. That's why the combine is quite slow, by the way. So you might notice the maximum speed I ever really get is about 4. and it's just that mod, the realism one, which I don't mind. It would be a lot faster for me doing time lapses if I turned it off though. Right, here we are. I wonder if this combine can fill it up from inside. No. Let's pull the van up a bit closer. Does not want to refuel. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so that combine has a very small, very small capacity, because it didn't even use that whole barrel. Right, let's go around here, just turn that van off. So realistic fuel is on, realistic fuel prices is on, which is why the fuel drains so quickly. I need to remember to turn these vehicles off because I just kind of leave them running. It's a bad habit really. Anyway, try again. Okay, there we go. Harvest done. I think that's it for now. Yeah, so we got baling to do next episode. To be honest, I'm thinking maybe let's have a look at a rake. Make these into kind of neater lines to make the job a little bit quicker. But we've already got 3 bales, so potentially we might sell these ones, or again we'll just stash them somewhere until we hopefully get pigs, and hopefully we do get some pigs in the next 3 or 4 episodes before we swap maps. We'll have to see how it goes, but yeah, apologies in advance. I have no idea how long this is going to be, so I'm a bit out of the kind of zone with regards to the time lapsing and recording this kind of series. I guess it's alright on the roleplay ones because you're editing so much you can kind of make them to be as long as you want, but this I'm not too sure, but hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you enjoyed all of these in the past, by the way, apologies, I literally haven't done one of these. It feels like 2 months now. I will do more of them though, because as I mentioned in the 20 minutes where I was talking to myself without pressing record, I can do probably 2 or 3 of these episodes to every one of the roleplays, so I do enjoy doing them. It also gets me to play the game a little bit, refreshes me with the actual controls, which is quite handy once in a while. But yeah, so that's it for now. Thank you very much. Thanks again for all the new subs. You know, I've gone, I don't know, I think I've gained 150 subscribers in the last 4 weeks, so incredible for someone new, for an amateur like me. Thank you very much, and yeah, I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.